All right, Brad. So let's get started with you've been in sales for
And
since forever.
yeah, I was born into it. My father was the world's greatest salesman, and he brought me up from a young age selling. Just as how you do it.
Let's talk about that. So, what did your dad do? What was his background?
My dad was, again, he was the world's greatest salesman and my hero. And he sold, he was a financial planner. He sold some Campground of America franchises for a number of years, made a lot of money doing that. And a few other fun things.
Nice. That's awesome. So, you've been in mortgage as a loan officer,
Yep.
title,
Yep.
and obviously recruiting. For you, what's the most important part of that process when it comes to, you're talking to loan officers about potentially joining a company? How do you go about it? What's partnership look like?
Oh, right. So, and you and I have talked about this, but we've never laid it down on camera yet. But where life and business intersect is what matters most, right? Where life and business intersect. So, a lot of times when you hear people talk about lifestyle, sounds like you're talking about that they want to play a lot of golf, get that work-life balance. That's not what I'm referring to. It matters like how you want to structure your business, how you want your loans to be executed, how you want your clients taken care of, how you want your kids to look at you, how you want to be, a pillar or a member of the community. If you want to be a leader in your space, or if you kind of want to be a lone wolf, like what matters to you as the individual, revenue attached, loan officer, team leader, whatever you are, but how your vision looks. And you'll hear me say this too. If we didn't learn anything in quarantine, if we learned anything at all during the quarantine times, it's important to build your life on design.
Yeah, 100%.
So design it out, plan it out. And so that's what I'm talking about with these folks about in the recruiting space more than anything.
So one thing you said to me the other day that I thought has stuck in my mind is like, you talked about like, hey, like I'm committed to leveling up and
Yes.
I want to do X, Y, and Z to level up. So let's talk about that. Like, what does leveling up look for you, and what role does that play both in your home life, but also in your work life as well?
Yeah. So leveling up to me, this joining UMortgage is a huge step for me. Like taking on this team lead role. Not only am I flattered, on the inside, I am. But just it's big shoes to fill. It's your big name in the industry. I'm grateful to be there. So that's just on paper, but also want to change my life financially. I'm a big believer in the only debts I like are mortgage debts. So I sell. I'm into selling mortgage. I think it's great. I think selling great rates in the wholesale channel is fantastic. Excuse me, competitive rates, highly competitive rates. You're supposed to say compliance wise, and but also just being a leader. Like we have some people here that I feel I could lead and also I could learn from too. And so it's a big step up for me, for my kids. My kids are proud of me. My wife is proud of me. My mom is proud of me. My brother and sisters are rooting for me. My friends are rooting for me. So everybody I know knows I'm here and that this is a huge challenge for me, that I'm up for the challenge. And I've been very passionate and diligent about changing my life over the past half decade. And we're just getting started.
That's awesome. And when you think of like we talked the other day about, who you want to surround yourself, because I think that's an important part of even the recruiting process as well. Is like you talked about like, hey, I want to be around high level people. I want to be around people that are trying to make the moves I'm looking to make in their lives. So, for you, when you think about, building a team and then surrounding yourself with people that are compatible with that vision, what are the things that you look for?
So I'm looking for people with a good moral compass, a tremendous work ethic. I like to surround myself with high achievers. I do better in an environment where there's a scoreboard, where you're in competition and you're happy for the people when they beat you, is the way I would put it. So I like to be around high achievers, but also high character. And so that's what I'm doing here.
Absolutely. And as far as like for like, all of our UMortgage team members who don't know you, give everybody a little bit of a summary about, you, marriage, kids, background. Like, they might not get to meet you in person for 6 months, a year.
Right.
What can they know about, Brad, that you're bringing to the team?
Oh yeah. Well, I know that I look real tough on the outside. But I have 3 little girls at home, and a wife who I love dearly. And we've been married 10 years now. I'll tell you, we met in San Diego, California. Asked her out for about a week. We went out on our first date. We've been together since. Haven't looked back. And my son, my wife and I raised him. He's 21. He's in the Marine Corps. Want to make him proud. He's making me proud out there in the Marine Corps, representing the United States Armed Forces out there, Camp Pendleton, San Diego. My dad was in the Navy. He's a Navy vet. Vietnam. My mom, she's tough as nails. And I'll tell you, my starting mortgage came from my mom, my stepdad. My mother is the retired world champion, greatest processor on earth. So if you're a processor out there, and you're the best there is room at the top now that she's retired. So, I learned, after basketball practice, football practice as a young adult, a teenager, all that, I'd go over to my parents' shop, and they had a big mortgage shop in San Diego, and that's where I got the bug. And then, most of all, where I learned, not only was my dad the world's greatest salesman, but my big brother Grant is a killer salesman and leader, and he's part of my cheer squad, and he roots me on every day. And so I know he's rooting for me, and so like we talk a lot about how to be better, how to get better, how to be the best, really.
And you grew up in San Diego?
Yep, I was born in Utah. I moved to San Diego when I was 10 years old, so got a kind of a diverse background for the West Coast, as far as the West Coast goes, a lot of West Coast upbringing.
Nice. And then you moved to...
So I attended University of Arizona. I played football there, and had some great teammates. My good friend in college, his name is Mike Bell, and he won a Super Bowl with the Saints. And he was fantastic. We had some great guys on the team. We never won too many games, but it was always a great time and built character. Some of my best friends to this day, my best friend, in fact, we met playing at University of Arizona, but just a few years ago, I moved out to Arkansas with my family.
Nice.
Central Arkansas, and Arkansas is a great state. I'll give you a fun fact is, growing up, one of my favorite things to be was a junior lifeguard, actually. Loved the junior guards, man. Like we did it on the beach in Solana Beach, California, and you just would surf and bodyboard and CPR practice and, run and everything. That was probably one of my best memories of my whole life.
That's awesome. You're going to be spending some time over these next, couple weeks getting to know the team, visiting some of our different offices.
Yeah.
What would you like everybody to know about you before they get to meet you in person?
I'm just not afraid of hard work. I'm ready to hit the grind, hit it running. I'm not afraid of hard work at all. I love partnerships. Relationships are just everything to me. Everything I've ever built for myself in my life has come through strategic partnerships. And I believe the reason why I'm successful at those, I'd like to think at least the reason I've been successful at maintaining high quality partnerships and relationships is because I try and give more than I get. So hand me leads, I'm going to call them right away, make you look good. If any opportunity, I'd like to make you look good. So I have always done a better job for other people, even than I've done for myself at sometimes in life. So when someone asks me to do something and it's part of, it's within the scope of what we're doing, like I'm all about it. I'm all about it. I'm ready to go.
That's awesome. And Brad is also a licensed loan officer. So he's done all sides of this business. He's done the title side. He's done the loan officer side of the business. His family has a background running a mortgage company. Obviously, he talked about his mom being a processor and learning the ropes from her. And now he's our sales recruiting team leader. So I'm looking forward to everybody getting to know Brad. He's going to be investing in our culture. I think one of the biggest changes that Brad and I have talked about that we're focused on here going forward is like, we are going to focus on how we build our internal relationships and you leverage, that internal piece to go out into the world and find people that we believe fit into this culture, into our environment. In the past, we kind of, prioritized it in reverse order. So, I have a great deal of faith in Brad's judgment, integrity, alignment with, our values and vision for how we want to build this company. So, I'm really excited for you to be here.
I'm beyond excited and honored. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, I hope everybody gets to meet Brad very, very soon. And this is our first edition of the Meet the New Team Member.